This is awesome. We're working on the 4-speed. Side cover about to come off the Saginaw 4-speed. Are you ready to see if this transmission is exploded on the inside? Welcome back to Freeman's Garage. We're working on the 1956 Chevy Tri 5, and it's all about the 4-speed transmission we're putting in this car. And it ain't light, I'll tell you that. That's how you know it's not a Muncie. We're gonna take our 4-speed here and clean it up real nice, and we're gonna put new gaskets and new seals in it, and make sure that when we put it in our 56 Chevy, it's not gonna be leaking anything on the ground. And this came out of a Chevy Vega or a Monza, possibly even a Camaro. And we know it's not a Muncie, because if it was, it would have an aluminum case. And this is clearly not aluminum. Warning, the stakes are a little high because our Saginaw 4-speed freshen up video here is not gonna go very smoothly. Well, it will for you from the easy chair, not for me. I have a feeling I'm gonna be running across town a million times, and I might even have to order something because this kit right here may or may not have everything we need in it, and we'll get to that later in the video. But there's a couple other things that we gotta take care of with this. We are missing some hardware. We wanna get that taken care of. Get a couple bolts in there before we pressure wash this transmission. This gasket probably is not sealing as good as it should be. It's possible this transmission has been torn apart into pieces. That's another thing. When we take the side cover off in this video, we might find out that this transmission is pretty much junk. We don't know yet. This was in a warehouse with a lot of other transmissions for decades sitting in the dark. So we'll find out. I'm not sure how much gear oil we may or may not have inside our 4-speed transmission here, but we're just gonna leave that alone. We're not gonna drain it. We'll do that after we pressure wash, but we'll leave whatever's in there for now while we do the pressure washing. That way, if we happen to get any water inside here, everything inside will be protected, but we'll be sure to drain it right after. And we'll plug this vent too. Can't forget about that. I'm sure you've eyeballed these parts here. Well, there's even more than that, but right now we just got a transmission, one thing at a time. Unfortunately, can't do too many things at once with the vehicles because my life's a disaster, man. But they're getting better. But right now, I want to find out if we have any degrease or anything here, since everything's spread out between 2 different states. Hopefully we do, and hopefully we got some paint. What color do you want to paint the transmission? Oh, I had wasp spray this whole time. I needed that. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're going to do camouflage on the transmission and clear coat it. Just kidding. Well, they weren't painted from the factory. I'm 99.8% sure. See, our engine's orange, our bell housing's orange. We got a full can of this cheap black, but that's gloss. We don't want to do that. Well, it's a good thing that painting it is not a high pry at the momento, because can't decide. Semi-gloss might be cool, might be neato. I mean, that's what we painted parts of the frame and the rear end. Black gray, no. Maybe a silver? Well, we don't have time to squabble about it, so I'll just wait for you to comment on it. And actually, maybe we'll paint it in the, no, we're painting it in this video. Still comment what color you want to go with. Good thing is we got some degreaser. We got a pretty hefty serving of this on hand, and we got this on hand. Choose your weapon. We do not have an approved work area at the moment, so we're just doing this on the floor, and this is just about all we got for toolage right now here in Texas. So let's just Hope we got everything we need here. Oh yeah, I knew that was a 5/8 first shot. We might take this transmission to a car wash because this house is spick and span, inside and outside, not the garage, but I really don't think we should be pressure washing things around here right now. It's about to go back on the market any minute now. Okay, yeah, we're gonna lose some oil. Need something for oil to drip onto. I'm taking a bolt out to see if it'll work for these holes, and then, yeah, then we know what length bolt we need that we gotta get from a hardware store because all our hardware that we have is in a different state. All right, this should just be good enough. This is awesome. We're working on the 4-speed, finally getting this cleaned up. I'm assuming this bolt's probably gonna work. Just wanna verify before we go buy anything. And I can't wait to show you the shifter I have. Oh yeah, I'm sure this is the right length bolt. Pretty sure they're all the same all the way around. I think there's 5 of them. Oh yeah. We'll still thread this one in just to verify it. We are gonna have to figure out shifter linkage for this. That's gonna be exciting too. And I really can't wait for figuring out that shifter linkage because I got a trick up my sleeve for that. I can't wait to show you. Okay, so that bolt's gonna work. Now we just need to decide where are we gonna pressure wash. Pro tip, these hand wipes with pumice work great for wiping off parts such as little bolts and whatnot. And now we can take them somewhat clean into the hardware store. I just decided we're pressure washing the transmission here. It's ridiculous. Why would we spend money when we have a pressure washer? We just won't make a mess. And we're gonna try to get a twofer here. So we're not installing this starter in this video here, but since we're going to the hardware store and getting hardware, let's see if the bolts that I have are long enough. I don't think they are. Okay, so while we're at the hardware store, we'll get some longer bolts for this starter so that in the video when we install the starter, we have hardware. Oh, we need hardware for our brand new carburetor as well. Why did I say ow? That didn't hurt. All right, so bolts that should work. Hopefully it'll work for our starter. Get what we need for our carburetor if they happen to have what we need. But task at hand, we need 3 of these for our transmission, the focus of this video, and we need a can of brake cleaner. Can't forget that. And we're not spending money on paint. We're using whatever we have here, which I think is going to be the semi-gloss black. All right, I'm back. I got the hardware. And I may or may not have ingested a slice of pizza on the way home. Oh, getting fat. It didn't really turn out that great because, well, for one, the stuff you see at hardware stores these days, pretty sure it's just comes from overseas. I hope not. But nothing, they didn't have anything that would work for our starter. So I ordered actual real starter bolts, which is better anyhow. But we got some stuff to try that probably should work for a carburetor. It's kind of an odd length actually, you know, from General Motors. So, but that's as close as we can get, which I think it should work because I've done it a million times, but every time you do something on this kind of stuff, it's just, it always seems to be different, right? And for our transmission bolts, so this is a 7/16 1-inch bolt, and unfortunately, 1.5 inches is the shortest that they had. And so we're gonna try it. So hopefully this works, which I don't think it will. I think it'll be too long. If it's too long, we're just gonna move ahead without the bolts that we wanted to put in. Yeah, it's way too long. Well, why don't we do this actually just for pressure washing? Let's just try a couple more washers and maybe we can get things to, maybe we can just make sure it's what am I saying? Maybe with the aid of some washers, we can get this a little bit tighter. Make sure tail shaft housing is, make sure tail housing is on here tight. Okay, that's okay. That's good. Oh, actually, it's long enough over here. Huh. Well, actually, here. Let's take one of these washers out on this one. Maybe, oh, I see. Oh, okay, I got it. That's what's going on. So for power washing, we'll have this bolt in, and we'll put this one in. And we got that one and that one, so we got 4 out of 5. That's more than I could ask for. It is a depression after all. Actually, I know how we can do it. Let's take that washer from there. These washers are way too big, but take those two, double those up, and then now we'll have all 5 bolts in for this. And just in case we do install the transmission into the car in this video, remember that these bolts on the driver's side of the Saginaw are shorter than these bolts over here. Or it'll be a future video very soon. Not sure, because the paint's gonna have to dry and I might not have time for that. Half my stuff is in a different state, or 95% of my stuff, tent stake, it's all we got. It's a depression, times are tough. What would Burt Reynolds do? I really can't wait to get around to opening that gasket and seal kit and finding out that we don't have everything we need. Which I kind of knew that going into it. I'll explain that when we get there. Are you wondering why did I carry the transmission to you at the very beginning of this video when we had a cart the whole time? You know what? You know, dramatic effect. But let's use the cart now. Get something to plug that vent, and then we will cart the transmission into an inconspicuous area and then spray it with our degreaser of choice. And then we'll let that sit for a bit, and then we start, well, I need some air in these tires. Oh yeah, they're low. And then we start spraying. And my tires are flat and my path is blocked. I'm so tired of picking these things up. I just pulled out our little vent, and I'm going to roll up this tape, this painter's tape, like so, and I'm gonna shove it in here. There you go, just to take up space in there. Make sure that it doesn't fall through and then get lost in our transmission. Now I'll grab another piece of tape. You have any idea how expensive tape is right now? Ay, ay, ay. It's a good thing I'm wasting it. Water will not penetrate this. The only place to do the pressure washing that's inconspicuous, okay, you know, of course, we're not gonna do it out in the front driveway because someone's gonna wanna look at this house any minute and there's gonna be grease all over the place. So we're doing it in a corner here in the back. And, you know, Broderick Crawford would say, it's just the way it's gonna be. So that's the way it's gonna be. Well, I guess we're making a mess in here too, but this can be cleaned up easily right here. If we covered the driveway in parts cleaner, degreaser, and greasy water, yeah, the driveway would get stained. Actually, we can't even get the cart out the door. I hate this garage. It's done, and it looks great. I spent way too long I spent about a couple hours on it, but you know, I just kept rotisserieing it. I did a final go around with the purple power. We were caked on pretty good in these areas here, so I had to do some scraping there, a little bit here, but that was about it. Except for I did break something. So I broke, let me show you. I broke that off, which means that it is impossible for us to be 100% done with this at the end of this video. We're gonna get 99.8% of the way there. Idiot! We'll just set this somewhere where we are sure to lose it. We're gonna put some cardboard down, and we might use this bucket. I think I have an oil pan packed away in here, and I don't want to cut the saran wrap, or it's not saran wrap, okay, it's heavy duty. There's probably $5 in shrink wrap on here, so I'd rather not cut it, but you know, I thought I was moving the last of my stuff for sure, and then things fell through. We might have to cut it. Or should we just use the bucket? Oh, okay, we'll try the bucket. Here, we'll use this for secondary containment. I just want to make sure that we don't make a big, huge mess because of the new challenge we have. We have to get this done even faster now, or as much as we can get. We're probably gonna end up going to the parts store searching for a seal. Not the swimming kind, the oil kind. And it is because this house is back on the market again as of maybe an hour ago, and there's already somebody coming to look at it tomorrow at noon, which means I need to get this garage looking as decent as it can be, because if it's not a car person, this is probably going to be a bit of a turnoff. And also, as much as I love wrenching in the garage with you, it's over 100 degrees in here. All right, let's open up the kit right now. I'm really digging this silver, by the way. So if we end up going to the parts store, we're probably gonna buy some silver paint if they have any, even though we should just use what we have, but this makes me think of plastic model kits as a kid. I would usually paint the transmissions a silver color as such, or aluminum color. Output seal. We need 2 O-rings. Okay, we have 2 O-rings. That's fantastic. This is either an O-ring or a seal behind here, and we don't have a seal or an O-ring for that, but we do have a gasket for the front. Okay, and then this is for a 7-bolt side cover. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll go like this. Oops. Well, I just spit all over it. And then this gasket here, tail housing. All right, so we're missing the input seal, and we are missing whatever's gonna go in here. This might have an O-ring. This might have an O-ring. Not the best scenario, but oh, I didn't tell you the story yet about why we ended up with that kit. Should I tell you now, or should I tell you later? Do you even want to know it? Okay, well, as we take the side cover off, I'll quickly share the story with you. So I'm down here at the Texas house trying to get it sold. I did a change of address to a P.O. box in Oklahoma, where I do not own a house yet. The challenge with that is I did find kits that had everything that we're missing, but the sellers would only ship through the Postal Service, which means it's not going to come here. It's going to go, it would get redirected to the Oklahoma P.O. box. But through the big box part stores, this Velcro kit comes up, and it doesn't matter I searched, I mean, your mileage may vary, but I searched 68, 69, 70, 71, 1972, Camaro, Vega, Monza, everything I could think of that this transmission might have been available in. It pops up a kit, TS30118. The picture shows exactly what we have here, and I was just, well, it's the only thing that I can get that's I can go pick up. If I was gonna order a kit that I know has everything in it for sure, I'd have to have it FedExed or UPS to me to this location, because that's got nothing to do with change of address with the postal service, right? I decided that I would just order this from the local big box parts store and go pick it up and find out what it actually comes with. Ooh, I smell the 8090, love it. It says it was for a 4-speed. So I thought, well, maybe, you know, the picture's just goofy. And plus also too, it's an experiment where you get to see what would happen if you bought this kit, the TS30118. If you happen to be doing this, that is. It's just very possible you're not. I feel like I could have told that story a lot faster. Sorry. Okay, I shouldn't be using a chisel on that, but I have limited tools here. Let me do this. Try to keep that debris from falling in. Side cover about to come off the Saginaw 4-speed. There we go. Are you ready to see if this transmission is exploded on the inside, or if it's going to look like it's ready to hit the street? And is it full of water? It looks great. Yes, we got a good 4-speed. Yes. I knew it all along. There's the magnet inside the case. There's some metal on it, which I was completely expecting to see. I'm not concerned about that at the moment. You know, you are going to see it. It is a used transmission. Tell you what, I mean, it definitely, to me anyways, everybody's got their own personal preference, but to me, I'm not going to rebuild this. Some people would just would just rebuild everything at first anyways, right? I'm happy with that. I'm okay with it. And I'm going to put it in the 56 Chevy and give it a go. Somehow we ended up not over the cardboard. Let's hope this bucket doesn't have a hole in it. That's a great song, by the way. I found this bucket not long ago on a cliff above a lake, and a transient climbed down the cliff to retrieve it for me. And I didn't ask him to. He just did it. He knew I liked the bucket, and he retrieved it for me, and I said, thank you, Daniel. I thought we were going to use the second containment. I'm just asking for it. Actually, you know, why don't I use it right now? Come on. Use your noggin. Got a free yoke, which we might actually need, because when I show you the drive shaft we got, you'll see it's a little, well, you'll see why. Not in this video though. Okay, this seal definitely does need to be replaced. I'm sure this would leak on us. The rubber's hardened, and it probably would have been leaking if it had more in the garage, if it had more gear oil in it, but that's all that's come out so far. And we'll just let this keep doing its thing. Go ahead, give me flack for using a claw hammer in an automotive setting. I have not much for tools here, so whatever, just beat me down. I don't care. I just have to use what I can. Bucket, hold up. Come on, stay with me, bucket. This guy's an idiot. Is this where you tell me, they don't make that seal anymore. You're not supposed to ruin it. You're waiting for this whole thing to flip over, aren't you? Yeah, me too. Oh, don't do that. And you scoffed at me. Oh wait, we technically don't even have all the right bolts, do we? Well, we have enough. We just won't be able to put gear oil in it until we have all the hardware. Oh, that feels good on the back. Yeah, wonderful. Loving every minute of it. Claw hammer. Yeah, you know what? There, I redeemed myself. But now I'm improperly using the tool. Do not use a chisel like I just did, okay? Do not. There's definitely a gasket on there. Yeah, we don't have that seal. What is the deal with this kit? We've reached caveman status. Everything hurts because I'm doing this for 45 minutes. None of my tools are here. If I knew I was going to put 20 hours into this simple project, I would have decided to just rebuild it. And you know those metal shavings on the magnet, they're a little on the chunky side. High mileage, maybe a bad bearing. We're gonna chance it. Well, not chance, we're gonna test it, but gaskets and seals, this is quick and easy. Doing our O-rings here, very quick and easy to do. Get this snap ring off. I gave up on that because we need to go buy snap ring pliers. It's not difficult stuff, it's very easy. And I'm trying to get this seal out here because if we're gonna go buy snap ring pliers, I wanna go buy everything else that we need that we can actually get locally. Now this seal, that's going to work for our output. We need a seal for our input. I also want that seal. I'm going to finish getting this out. All right, I finally almost got this. Probably just 10 more minutes. And hopefully I'm not chiseling on the part of the seal that has a part number on it. And that is where we just so happened to chisel it. But we know how big it is. Ridiculous. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Our reverse detent is a seal, not an O-ring, and I just phoned the parts store and they're not gonna have anything like that. Which means we can't finish this, and it's after 8, and the sun's going down, and this has to be ready for people to look at the house tomorrow. We know that we have to order some stuff and wait for it, and it's been way too long since I've given you a 56 Chevy video. So consider this maybe part 1 of doing this transmission. But don't jump off the video yet. Let me show you exactly where we're at here. So we need snap ring pliers to get this snap ring off, and might have one more in here. Probably not on our reverse here because this isn't a 3-speed, this is a 4-speed. Okay, and then that'll allow us to pull the tail housing off. Okay, and all this is gonna come with it. And then now over here, so these 3 guys there, I don't want to lose the little ball if it fell out. O-ring, O-ring, very easy. You can see we've got a ball in there. There should be a spring in there too. This is a little seal. I ripped all the rubber out. Now we're left with that edge. It'd be nice if that was just an O-ring, but it's a seal that we have to find. We can put this back. And we'll make sure all this is nice and clean too before we reassemble. That's easy, except for it's gonna take a bit to get the rest of that old seal out, but we need the seal too. But we got 2 O-rings. We got a seal that should work here, and we need to find a seal for the front. Goes in there, that one. So if we have those seals and a pair of snap ring pliers, and we get the seal out of there, which is it's probably gonna take me half an hour. If we have all that stuff, then this just bing, bang, boom. It's elementary, my dear Watson. And then we put it back together, wipe it down with some parts cleaner, and then we spray paint. This is actually okay that we're not finishing this right now, even though it's an hour job that we've spent like probably 6 hours on. This gives us an opportunity to snag a can of aluminum or a silverish color, which I think is going to be pretty cool. And once that's done, carburetor, distributor, starter, and whatnot, this surprise here, it's going to blow some of your minds. You're going to say, Freeman, I can't believe you're doing that. You're actually doing that. We've got a junkyard Tri Five drive shaft in here too that we need to refurbish. I'm gonna get this video out to you. I want you to know that everything's still, we didn't abandon the project. All right, I appreciate you hanging out. Hot pocket tonight? Oh, getting fat.